welcome to my second episode of Sports Chatter. Glad you could be here with me tonight. Like I said, I was going to change the show a lot. I decided, guys, since the pilot, that I would just cover NBA and NFL for time purposes. So, because there's a lot of editing that goes into this, and I'm doing all of it myself. So, like I said, the first thing we're going to talk about is shout outs. I'd like to give a shout out to Billy M from Rhode Island. Thanks for the support, bro. Why do I love sports? I love sports because I play sports because it's a way of uniting people. It's a way of acting out frustration. It's an outlet. It's a lot of things. So I just love sports because sports loves me and I love sports too. So that's basically it. Thanks a lot for your support. Shout out to you. Shout out to my brothers. Robert, shout out to my sister-in-law, shout out to my nephew, shout out to my roommate. Once again, just thank you for being supportive. So, first thing I like to talk about on this thing is Frank Reich, new head coach of the Colts. Over a decade as a coach, and his last job was an intern for the Colts. They introduced him Tuesday, brings history of quarterback work to the table. He's worked with a lot of major quarterbacks, and he's even worked for Wentz and Foles and people like Manning and certain great quarterbacks. So the two most relevant ones are Nick Foles and Chris Wentz, and he's worked with them even. He's even done great things with the Eagles right before they won the Super Bowl. So let's just go to the interview and see what he has to say himself.
The relationship between a head coach and a GM is critically important in any NFL organization. And it became very apparent really early on that Chris and I shared a very common philosophy and vision for this team and for this organization. The older sister and younger brother, my dad used to tell us all the time, he'd tell me all the time as I was growing up playing football, Frank, it's not always a question of who's the toughest. It's a question of who's the toughest the longest.
That's true.
We will have a tough football team. Secondly, we will be the most disciplined team. We will have the structure, we will have the system, and we will have the processes that cultivate discipline. Why is this so important? Well, there's a quote that I've had on my desk. I've had two quotes on my desk since my rookie year in 1985. And then one of them reads this: the sweat of discipline and the hard work of repetition always precedes the thrill of spontaneity in any pursuit of life.
So, if we look at the stats, we see that he played with the Bills, the Panthers, the Jets, and Lions, and coached numerous great places, including the Eagles last year. You see his date of birth, 61, 6'4", 210. Maryland was his college, and once again. But anyway, let's get back.
So you heard it there yourself. Motivational speaking. Seems to be very excited to be taking over the team of the Colts. And very motivational speech. Very enlightening for Colts fans. Andrew Luck's obviously a good quarterback if he stays healthy. They have a lot of talent there. I believe Frank Gore still plays for them. So it's just like a lot of things that they could, really utilize and make the way they should. The next thing I like to talk about is Alex Smith. Okay, Alex Smith has been traded to the Redskins, if you guys didn't know, for a third-round draft pick and a CB named Kendall Fuller. As soon as Alex Smith got there, this is huge because he's done so good for Kansas City, and honestly, he did good in San Francisco. And last year, he had the best season of his life. He had the best year with passing yards last year with 4,042, and he had 26 passing touchdowns. So that was his high of his career, and now he's in Washington. As soon as he got to Washington, he signed a 4-year extension for $94 million. So it's pretty much secure, his job. And I'm excited to see what he's going to do with the I formation and the running offense of Washington and the world of influence behind Joe Gibbs and certain things. So we're gonna see what really happens. I'm very excited about it. Alex Smith is a great quarterback, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he could do, for this team and things like that. Why don't we take a look at some of the reactions from around the league through Twitter? Take a look.
From
Players
NFL.
around the league who are already reacting to the news. Tyreek Hill, wow. He's that's a big change for him. Jacandrick West, thanks for everything, brother. Wish you nothing but the best. Josh Norman, see those eyes. Certainly a stunner for a lot of people. Chris Thompson, man, y'all really got my phone freezing over here. So those are some of the player reactions to the news that Alex Smith.
Okay, now I'd like to go to the NBA. I hope you laughed at that Twitter video. It was pretty funny. NBA news. Let's see. Top 4 teams that we really got right now. I would say Toronto, Boston, Golden State, and Houston. And if you want to add 2 more, that'd be San Antonio and Cleveland. These are the top 6 teams record-wise in the NBA. Let's talk about the Raptors last night. The Raptors, well, take a look at the picture real quick. So, as you see there in that picture, the Raptors beat the Heat 115-112. Very close game, very good game. DeRozan had 27. Kyle Lowry had 22. They played remarkable basketball, scoring 49 points together, as you've seen in the picture. Dragic, who used to play for Toronto, if I'm not mistaken, in Miami, had 28 points, 4 assists, and 2 rebounds against the Raptors, but it wasn't enough. Very close game, very good game. I think Raptors are someone to truly watch, guys. So, Drake could probably sing a song about it, and we'll see what happens, and they'll be back in that picture again. Okay, let's talk about the Rockets beating the T-Wolves. Okay, Rockets have won 9 straight. James Harden is playing lights out basketball. He had another double-double last night with 34 points and 13 assists in his win over the T-Wolves. They won 126-108. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, Karl Anthony Towns had 35 points with 12 rebounds for Minnesota, making an emphatic statement. But then again, the Rockets are very hard to beat, and they could easily be in first place if it wasn't for Golden State's continual steady success, stabilizing success, because they just keep doing it. So let's just take a look at the stats real quick of the game, and you tell me how it breaks down, okay?
Let's take a look at this. The Rockets got out-rebounded. It was tied on the offensive end, out-rebounded on the defensive end. Rockets had more assists. The Timberwolves had more steals. It was even on blocks, and turnovers were about right.
As you see, them stats right there kind of explain how close of a matchup it turned out to be, but unfortunately, it was still very good. And they, stats are stats. Quick news about the league. Magic Johnson working close with the owner of the Lakers. Yes, the Lakers, to better the future of the franchise of the Los Angeles Lakers, guys. Magic Johnson, obviously one of the greatest Lakers that ever lived outside of Kobe Bryant, who just retired. Magic Johnson knows about success. Magic Johnson has had success even in his own health life. So, as far as I'm concerned, I look forward to seeing what changes are going to be made and how devout he is on bringing wins back to that franchise of mine and a franchise of many great fans. Quick All-Star updates. Hornets Kemba Walker will replace Porzingis in the Taco Bell skill challenge this year. Porzingis obviously is out off an ACL injury when he slam dunked the ball against Minnesota, came down the wrong way and hurt himself. So speaking of Porzingis, I just got news through NBA.com because I get a lot of my stuff from NBA.com. Shout out to them. that he is good. He had a successful surgery on his ACL, but obviously he will be out for a while, and this is why Kemba Walker will be taking his place. Also, Donovan Mitchell. Yes, Donovan Mitchell from Utah. Donovan Mitchell, Mr. High Flyer, replaces Aaron Gordon in the slam dunk competition this year as well. Sunday's going to be off the hook. I'm actually more excited that Donovan McNabb is there than Aaron himself. So it's going to be very interesting. I'm excited to see what's going to happen. Team LeBron versus Team Stephen. And, you know, we're going to see what happens. Steph's team versus LeBron's team. And the East versus West. Let's get it. Let's talk about Paul Pierce now. Paul Pierce, one of the greatest Celtic players to probably ever live, arguably, has retired his jersey, number 34, and now it sits in the rafters at Boston Garden. Parrish, a great Lakers alumni, a great Lakers leader. Celtics leader. He said, and I quote, "Pierce was the best offensive player in our history," end quote. I got that quote from NBA.com. Once again, thank you. So for someone like Parrish to be saying that about Pierce speaks volumes. So my thing is, we got to see what's really going to happen. I got a question for you guys. Once again, if you haven't subscribed, please click the link below. If you have any questions, or you want to be brought up in shout outs, or you want anything to be brought up on the show live for me to address it, and you want me to shout you out as well, please just subscribe and email me at truthwhiterappa@gmail.com. I'll put the link below in the description. So do that. I got a little interactive thing. We have a thumbs up and a thumbs down for the people watching. Thumbs up will be a yes to my question. Thumbs down will be a no this week. This question for the week is, speaking of Paul Pierce, a legendary player, was Paul Pierce, I want you guys to tell me what you think. You guys let me know. Was Paul Pierce a good clutch free throw shooter, though? If he was the best offensive player, according to Parrish. My question for you, the fans, is, was Paul Pierce a good clutch free throw shooter? If he was, and you agree with the fact that he was, please hit like below. If you think he wasn't, then please hit dislike. I'm not going to go by thumbs up and thumbs down on review on my show. I'm going to really make it an interactive poll system to kind of bring in next week, and we can go over this, what people really thought. And I will come in with numbers statistically, and we can go back to that question. Once again, was Paul Pierce a good clutch free throw shooter? Hit like if you agree he was. Hit dislike if you don't think he was good at the line when the pressure was on him. I have mixed feelings about that. So that's what it is really for me. That's exactly what's really going on for me. Okay, thing I really want to talk about here. We're going to get into one more thing before we leave the NBA. Well, this is a new part of my show. I told you guys that I would give you the top 3 plays every week, once, because I have one episode a week. I would give you, the top 3 plays. Being the NFL's off at this time of the year, I thought it'd be better to recreate something that's similar, but a little bit better. So for the next month or so, possibly, or maybe a month and a half, I'm going to do a segment of the show called Top Dunks. Okay? So I want you guys to check it out. I'll be right here, and let me know when we come back what you think. Stay tuned.
This is Top Dunks.
Not only is he the best mascot in the NBA, he's the best mascot in all of sports. Catch the ball, failed slam. Trap counts. Runner riding her whistle. Parker on it, and he hammers it down.
So them top dunks was crazy, right? I'm telling you, they were crazy. I like that last one, the one at the very end there. It's like, almost brought him down with him. You seen that, right? It's nuts. Anyway, I'm glad that I could make you guys happy with some sort of best play thing. So I figured that'd be best with football being out. A lot going on in the league, a lot of new things that NBA varies, as we know already. I'm just really looking forward to seeing what's going to happen. Why don't we take a look at some of the upcoming games? Because the NBA is about to slow down this week with the Olympics and the All-Star game and, you know, Team LeBron versus Team Steph. And we're going to see what really happens. So just take a look. Stay tuned.
So quick look at the scores. Miami losing in Toronto, Milwaukee beating Atlanta, Houston over Minnesota, Cleveland wins, Sacramento wins, and Denver wins. Great week. Tonight, Los Angeles Clippers, Boston, Toronto, Chicago, Sacramento, Houston, OKC, Memphis. We got a big break coming up, so enjoy these last few games. Also, Atlanta, Detroit, Miami, Philly, some good East games you can watch. Remember, we got the Olympics coming up and USA and everything. Then February 14th, we got World versus USA in basketball, Olympic style. And we have Denver, Milwaukee, LA, Minnesota. One time right before the All-Star game itself, and LeBron and Steph.
Yeah, well, that's what the schedule is kind of looking like. It's slowing down, so it's going to be a slow week. I also want to tell my viewers, with the NBA, have patience with me because NBA games are every day and my show's every week. So if it's a little out of date, forgive me. I can't do it every day, guys. You know, I have a lot of work to do already, and this takes a lot of energy. I edit this myself. I do all this myself, and nobody helps me at all. So for me to do this, I just like to thank the subscribers and supporters, and stay tuned. And any questions or concerns you have, feel free every week to address them with me through email. Like I said, you will get a shout out. We will address your question like I did at the beginning of the show for my friend in Rhode Island. This is what we're doing, okay? So let's just continue to stay firm and stay focused. This part of the show I like to call rumors. Being that this rumor is so big, you know, I decided that I'll just keep it to one rumor. I usually going to do 2-3 episode, but I cut a lot of things today. So I figured let's just go straight into the rumor. Colin Kaepernick's legal team attacking Papa John's CEO, John Schnatter, and adding him to the disposition list now in his war against the NFL. He's been going back and forth. I think he's a very arrogant player. I didn't like how he started the whole kneeling thing. I think it's been, very destructive. And, thank God certain players put a positive spin on it. But when he initiated that, I don't think nothing positive really came out of it. He wrongfully took Alex Smith's job, if you ask me. And now he's blaming Papa John's, saying that Jerry Jones influenced Papa John's to no longer endorse him. This is ridiculous. The list already has Robert Kraft, the owner of the Patriots, Jerry Jones, the owner of the Cowboys, Bob McNair, the owner of the Texans, and now Roger Goodell's wife is even in it. Jane Goodell is in the disposition list as well, and Papa John's CEO. So I just think this is ridiculous with this guy. He's a total idiot, if you ask me. I don't think he's a winner at all. I think he's a fucking idiot. My personal opinion, excuse my language. And, I don't think he's going to last, as far as relevance or skill. So, he went to the Super Bowl. Alex Smith sat down. That's why Alex Smith left and went to Kansas City. A lot of resentment there. And he shouldn't have sat down. And not only did he play in the Super Bowl when he didn't really deserve to, but he also blew the Super Bowl against Baltimore. So, I think the guy is totally overrated. So thank you for tuning in to my second episode. I hope it was better than my first episode, which was the pilot. Thanks for giving me your time. If you haven't subscribed, like I said, please click the link below. Feel free to email me. And once again, the question of this episode was, is Paul Pierce a good clutch free throw shooter? Hit like if you agree. Hit dislike if you don't think he was. Thank you very much. And I'm your host, Truth White Rapper, a.k.a. PainGod. Google me, YouTube me. I do a lot of things. I'm Mr. Music. I'm Mr. YouTube. That's what some people call me. I appreciate that. And I'd just like to say that this has been another great episode and great time with you guys of Sports Chatter. See you next time. Get your game right in the meantime. I'll be right here. Let's go. Uh-huh.